Hi everyone, this is Bowman coming at you with my second cast. Yesterday I did my first one and I focused on being a little bit more educational and getting down to the details. I had previously studied the game, wrote some notes on what I wanted to say about it, but this time I wanted to hop in a game that I haven't seen before, and this is with a Protoss player that I am not familiar with, Trust here. So he's only taking one gas, going for the fast expand against this Zerg who is playing gasless, taking his gasless third. Right after the Nexus is built, Trust goes out with the Scout, gets his second gas, second pylon coming up at the natural, and just now it's Leenock. Did I mention? It's this great Zerg player. Just now taking his gas after the third hatch. I really like this variation of the build, delaying the gas like that, but still getting it. But it looks like they should ramp up to good, even economies. But he is already chrono boosting his Adept out, and I at this time would like to see him make more probes to fill this up, especially when you're competing against a Zerg with this much economy like Leenock has opened with. Delayed gas, 3 hatch before. Well, he got the 3rd hatch after the pool. So we see he's still chronoing out a second Adept, getting a Twilight Council. Puts both chronos on buildings other than the Nexus here. Really like to see what he's going to do with that. I guess it'll be for some kind of Twilight timing, but I still don't think he's going to be able to warp in too many Adepts or DTs or anything by the time it's finished. Actually, it does look like it will line up very nicely with the 3 gateways. It's just the Twilight tech that's going to need to get finished. Down here from Leenock we see he's just gotten to the 100 gas mining and is starting to speed up first. Just poking around with the Adept. I don't think he saw the gas number. That would have been a nice thing for him to check out before quitting the Shade. I think he was going to this gas, but he ended up picking to go to the wrong side. So still just to 3 gates and going for the Adept speed. Poking around with these 2 Adepts. He doesn't know the gas timing. He could, if he were to have seen this gas, he could have stayed around a little bit longer because speed's only halfway done here, but he had no idea. At a typical time, the Ling speed should be finishing right about now. Going for the second gas in a Baneling nest. Must be trying to go for some kind of harassment, or no, he scouted this out, knowing it's going to be this Adept play, and most likely is just going to be defensive at first, maybe go catch some of the Adepts out on the map if he has enough Lings, possibly follow up with a counter. I'm sure it just depends on how things go. He's been really good with his injects all game, but for the first time we saw he went up to 5 energy there. Getting his first evolution chamber, and at the same time behind this, Trust is just going to take a 3rd. Still doesn't have quite the money. I'd really like to see him just poke in like this, and I was going to say cancel the Shade because Leenock, he's known about this, and even Trust saw that Leenock saw everything with Overlords. So I would have really liked to have seen him just not lose those Adepts. Take the 3rd base, further on with this Robotech, get his other gases, maybe a Forge or 2 in here, and eventually just take the Adepts back and defend. Maybe in some way sneak 2 around and throw them into the 3rd. Yeah, just like this, but having the rest of the Adepts go home. So he does pick off some drones there, and the War Prism's going to come in. It would be really nice if he had some kind of multi-prong going on to make Leenock be splitting off all of his units. Needs to get some pylons up here just in case there is some kind of rebuttal from Leenock. Still not furthering his tech at all, and really delayed on these extra gases at the natural. Doesn't really have that high of a probe count. If this whole time he was building extra probes, he'd be able to transfer them to the 3rd base and be taking these gases a little bit easier. So these Adepts did get quite a bit of work done. screwed up Leenock on his gas mining and just made him run all of the drones around. I did see he sniped a few drones as well. Leenock making a round of drones here, going up to third and fourth gas. There we finally see a forge in the second Twilight tech, which will be Blink for Trust. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off this queen well and get out. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't shade out. Do these links have +1? No. What'd he go for? He's just finishing up +1. If he would have had +1, that would have been great. And Leenock did have the Baneling nest. If he just had a couple in there, a couple Banelings, that could have shut that down much more effectively. And at the same time, Trust gets some adepts over here, doing some great work. I don't know if he's seen the Spire yet. Well, he hasn't seen the Spire, and that is possibly Leenock's saving grace, but Leenock only has 200 gas. It looks like these adepts just might end the game. I don't think he can deal with this set right here. I don't think he ever made a Roach Warren. He was relying completely on Lings and Banelings. He saw the third, must have thought Trust was going to back off on this, and the Warp Prism came and did so much. I really can't believe it. I would have liked to have seen him make more defensive Banelings and just more Lings overall, especially once you see this Warp Prism. You know, it costs a lot of money for Trust to warp in all these units, and if you lose these units, most of the time you really don't have anything at home, because you're putting everything on that side of the map. And you see here all he has is an Observer, an Immortal, and an Adept, nothing at the third. Leenock could potentially have sent a few groups of Lings to harass. Finally got a few Mutas out to help clear up the Warp Prism and anything else. Trust is up 15 supply at this point. Leenock's mining is pretty poor. Just getting back on here at the third. And really doesn't have the drones to saturate his gases. You know, and here Trust is comfortably on his full 2 bases and 10 probes at the third. And Trust was getting Blink. He didn't see the Spire, but I do remember he started Blink before he ever even saw anything. So it really was the only option Leenock could have gone for. And if he would have seen some roaches pop out at some point, then the Blink Stalkers aren't too bad, and you don't need to go too heavy on the Blink Stalkers. It's a nice ability to have throughout the game. So Leenock's going to go for his last effort, but I think he's going to realize he's at the end of the game here. And 2 Stargate Phoenix behind it. Well, I think that's going to be all here. Starting the Hydra Den. Trying to drone up again. Still behind 30 supply. Trust is just going to come finish off the game. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll probably go ahead and do another one of these games from IEM without looking at it. So I hope you check it out. Thanks. Bye.